Hey guys, welcome to this video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of car repair work. So I'm actually going to be doing a differential fluid change and on a 2010 Subaru Outback, 2.5 liter engine and CVT transmission. So I'll walk you through the steps on how to do it and show you how it's done. Alright, so I have the car jacked up here. I just have some jack stands there in the back, and then in the front I just there's a bar across the bottom in the front here where you can see it attaches there. There's a bar in the front, and so I have two jack stands on the front, so I have a good lift going there. Alright, so here we are underneath the car. So this is the rear differential fluid reservoir. I'm going to unbolt this top one first, this top bolt first, and then I will unbolt the bottom bolt. Just to give you guys a little perspective here, if you don't know exactly where this is at, we have one wheel on that side and one wheel on the other side. This is your exhaust, and here's your muffler. So you got your exhaust running down, and then you have your differential over here. So that's just to give you a little bit of a perspective as to where this is exactly at. And then moving towards the front. So here we have, this is our transmission fluid section. Make sure you don't drain that when you do your front differential. And your front differential is going to be right in front of the transmission fluid area. So this is your drain plug right here for your differential, and you may and or may not be able to see it in the video, but it says there next to the plug, differential fluid, differential oil. And then again, for perspective, there's the wheel on that side. Here's your transmission and transmission fluid area. And then we have the front of the car there. And then we have the wheel on the other side. And the exhaust right here. Alrighty, so here I'm going to be starting with the rear differential. I got a 1/2 inch breaker bar here, and I'm just going to fit that into the hole and put some pressure down on the breaker bar. Alright, so that didn't work so well. I wasn't able to get it off too easy, so I'm gonna soak it with some PB blaster, and then I have a spot to drain it there. So, and to catch all the PB blaster that drips off. And then it's pretty tight, to be honest. These bolts are not easy to get off, so I definitely recommend getting the top one off first, so that you can make sure you'll be able to fill it properly. So see there, sometimes what I'll do is if it's really well, if my car is really well jacked up and everything like it is on these ramps, I'll take and put my feet against the tire and use leverage to pull it loose this way. So now you can see it broke loose, and now I can just take and keep on turning it loose till it comes out. These are not easy to get out. In fact, while they're out, I may soak them in some sort of rust stuff, either PB Blaster or something else, so that it's easier to get out. So there's the top one. That one's out. Kind of check the fluid level. Looks dark, definitely. So the bottom one. Get that in there good. Put my feet against the tire. So I sprayed it with a little bit more PB Blaster. Now I'm gonna get this back in there again. There. Finally broke loose. It's really tight in there. Sometimes you can get a breaker bar on there too, depending on where you're at. Just like, I mean, this is a breaker bar, but like an extension, just pipe. Put some pipe on the end there, and then that'll help with some leverage, especially if you have it jacked up like this. I was thinking of using my pipe, but I figured for demonstration I'd just do it this way, and if I could, but it's definitely tight. So we got this. We got our differential oil coming out. That's definitely dark. Definitely should be changed. In fact, I might change it twice. I'll do it once. Now I might drive it around a little bit and do it a second time. And the bottom one, I believe, is like a little bit different than the top one. So you can see it's got a little screw thing in there, and the other one is shiny, so you know that this is the top one and this is the bottom one. Alright guys, so I'm in the garage here. I've had these bolts in some vinegar for about a half hour now. They look a little bit better. But now I'm gonna finish cleaning them up with this rust dissolver jelly stuff. So I'm gonna take a toothbrush, not one that I use for my teeth, obviously, and just kind of clean that up. Clean up the threads, which is really what you want to clean up the most, because that's what gets stuck so much, is the threads. Clean it up good. And once you have it cleaned up, I'll kind of dip it back in here. I'll probably use some brake cleaner just to kind of finish cleaning it up. And then they'll be ready to put back in. So I'll do that with the other one. You can see how much more rusty this one is. This rust dissolver stuff really does seem to work. And just continue working on that. Alrighty, so as you guys can see, these bolts came a lot cleaner. And the threads did too a little bit. Still not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. So basically all the gear oil has drained out. So the oil that I got is this Lucas 7590 synthetic gear oil. It says trans and differential lube, but it's obviously not your transmission fluid. And so then I also have this pump that just basically has a hose attached to it that I'll pump the fluid in there. You can get these pumps at the auto parts store or whatever. So I'm gonna start pumping in the fluid. First, I'm obviously gonna put the bottom drain plug back in. Alright, so now that the bottom drain plug is in, I'm gonna start pumping some fluid into it. Make sure that hose stays in there. Alright, and then once it starts dripping out, it should be done. I hope you noticed how clear this stuff was compared to how dark the old stuff was. Definitely needed replacing. And like I said, after I drive it around for a little while, you know, get the gear oil flowing through and mixing together, I'll probably do a drain and fill a second time. So just to make sure and get all the old differential oil out of there. At least it wasn't milky, so there's not like any water or other water-based contaminants in it. So that was good. So anyway, I'm gonna go get it. Used about a quart. I'm gonna go get another quart jug and just make sure it's completely full, and then let it drip out again, and then we'll be able to put the top drain plug in and get going on the front differential. Alright, so both drain plugs are in. And now let's get going on the front differential.